started recording. Everything is good. Let me make sure we're on Twitch. We are on Twitch. That's a positive. And then double checking the Facebook now. And boom, we're live on Facebook. We're live everywhere. We are ready for this next episode of Our Perspectives.
What the fuck, yo?
I hear me.
I lowered it, but it fucking lowered my fucking goddamn volume of my ringer instead of the volume on the thing.
Yo,
I
I go
hate it
through
when it
that.
does
I
that.
go through that all the time on my phone. You want to talk about
So
my life?
fucking
My life
annoying.
struggles. I can't, because I'm not on that iPhone life, right? The Android life has me connecting these Galaxy earbuds, and then I have Spotify playing on my computer. And every time that happens, and I go to like raise or lower the volume, it goes to my computer and it ignores the earbuds. I'm like, come on, why would you want to control the not my earbud situation and the stuff playing on my phone by default? It drives me nuts. Then you have to go into the individual mixer settings to change the volume on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
This
This is
makes me go.
episode 4, right?
This is episode 4, and definitely going through the real life struggles of modern smartphone eras. But yeah, welcome back,
Right,
everyone.
I shared the Twitch. Let me go to Facebook and share the Facebook.
And I should do a story. Them stories have a
Yo,
link,
what story?
like Facebook's
Oh,
Instagram story.
word.
My stories get a little bit of love lately because I do a lot of them.
Yeah, that was happening when I was doing it daily, and then I just stopped. It's so hard for me to keep on remembering to do it daily. I
I
gotta
know.
set a certain time so that by the time my stories expire, whatever, man. Okay, we're
The
live.
pickles are my like reminder. People tag me and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably post. Live for Our Perspectives. Yay. Done. How are y'all doing today, internet
Hey,
folks?
shouts to the capitalized letters on the perspectives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks nicer. Yeah, I just started using it everywhere. I use that word perspectives as if that's just how I spell it now. Like to a point where in like formalized,
It'll help people just like the page. You know what I mean?
I have
There's
to
gonna be
remember to
random
like
people that'll.
not do that in some context though, where like you should probably spell it correctly here and there. Like in the work email type world. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. Got a whole list of stuff, and yeah, we're gonna run through it and share our perspectives on things. It's a slow start as we promo the episode and start to get everything going. You'll let us know over the course of the week if you're watching this and you see some news topic-y thing happen. Put a little comment down there and tell us what you want to see us talk about, so that way you're part of the whole experience as well.
Facts. Help us out, because I'm just doing this every Thursday night while I'm watching TV and shit. I would like to talk shit and be like, Holden don't do shit, but you do all the other shit. So it's like,
I do be doing a bunch of shit.
I guess this is the one thing I could do for the show and shit. Besides be me.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Right. You being you is a lot, and there wouldn't be no show without you.
And it's, you know what I mean? Listen,
I'm not just saying that.
Fuck I am. I know who the fuck I am.
But since you picked all these topics, what's going on with the next Verzuz is Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri.
Yo, this is incredible.
You want me to open the link?
I mean, you can open the link, right? Like, I would just personally.
I'll have it open on this side.
Yeah, I'm like, I could read it to you guys, right? What the link says.
Right.
Essentially, it's that this comes. The news was confirmed that Diddy and Jermaine Dupri are going to be doing a versus battle. This comes after the two previously refused to participate in music competition due to Thriller's Triller's refusal to properly compensate the platform's creators, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. Since then, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland reached a settlement with Triller that allowed them to restructure Versus. On a recent podcast appearance, Dupree shared that the upcoming event will highlight the best of both his and Diddy's discographies. We're going into this versus me and Puff. I'm the underdog, a dangerous underdog too. And I say danger because people don't really know my records. We know all Puff songs. He don't have no hidden records that I'm like, oh, I didn't know he did that. I got a bunch of records that he don't even really be thinking about, said Jermaine Dupri. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there, okay? Because this is absurd. This is absurd. This is when people say shit like that, it's so annoying to me because it's like, bro, you are putting your thoughts and your mentality into the world. I know all of Jermaine Dupri's records. So what are you talking about? Who are you talking about? You're talking about who exactly? People that lived through So Def and Bad Boy era, they know So Def and Bad Boy. Know why? Because people from your era are gonna know your shit. I know all the shit that he did. There's no surprise. There's no like, oh my god, Jermaine Dupri worked with Usher. He produced that for Usher too. Like, no, bro. And then also, also, that is the dumbest shit to say in the world. You know why? Because at the end of the day, verses is about hit records. It's not about the hidden records. If it was about the hidden records, if it was about the hidden records, then no, nobody played hidden records. Everybody played their hits. Everybody's got up to verses
And
and
it's
played
okay.
their
So it's
hits.
also like to that end. Let's say you're the guy that like ghost produced it or like hidden produced some shit. I don't know if I want to play a record that's somebody else's record exactly. That like
That's not like a that you're thinking about your level of like
no, I mean like
integrity. No producer that like listen, for example, at the beginning of verses, back when it was still on IG, at the very start and outset of it, right?
right.
One of the first verses was like Timbaland versus, or was it Timbaland versus? Who was it versus what's the cokehead white producer from hip hop that produced Lean Back? The
I don't
big
know.
drug head, the big drug addict. I forgot his name. Damn it! Why are there no
Swiss
people
Beats
here
and
to
Timberland,
answer?
or
No, Swizz Beatz and Timberland are on verses. What are you talking about?
well,
Well,
you
they were
said
the
the first
first ones to.
verses.
No, I
You
didn't say the first. I meant like the first verses is like the first one, two, three. It was
oh, then
what's
there's
his
Boyda
name?
One and Hit Boy, and then the Dream versus Sean Garrett. I
So
just
maybe
look.
it was number five. God
I
damn,
have to
what's his
open the
name?
wiki for number
He was
five.
he was the super
Scott
big coke.
Storch, Manny Fresh.
Scott Storch,
Mmm.
cokehead, bro, cokehead. There's only one guy that almost went broke after being a fucking humongous millionaire just
I
off
don't.
coke, and that was Scott Storch. You know what I mean?
I don't really
Famously,
know Scott Storch like
famously,
that, but now I do.
famous cokehead. Anyway, Scott Storch um played a bunch of records in his verses that people were questioning that it's like you didn't produce that. You just played the keys for Dr. Dre. Why are you playing that record? You just played the keys for this one, for that one. Why are you playing that record? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's one of those things where like it doesn't really matter. Like if you got a credit on a song, it's your credit.
Done.
So you can, you know what I mean? That's it, done. I don't care. Listen, Puff is gonna go up there, and Puff notoriously is not a button pusher. Puff doesn't produce records like beat makers, but that's one of those things in hip hop that is. This is a great conversation to start this out with. This is something that happens a lot in hip hop where people criticize Puff. They they criticize they criticize Puff. They don't criticize Dr. Dre for the same thing, which, by the way, Dr. Dre does the same thing. If you look at Dr. Dre's credits, there's one producer, Alonzo something, that has co-produced everything that he did. And believe me, when it says co-produced, For somebody like Dr. Dre, that means that motherfucker didn't do shit. That means that Alonzo, what's his name, did fucking everything. And Alonzo is fucking lucky that he's Dr. Dre's friend, or that Dr. Dre chose to fucking let him have a credit on the records and have the beauty of like having this just continual pay and pay and pay. People think, oh, I don't want that. Oh, fuck Puff, bro. I produced that. I should get all the credit. You are fucking nobody. Without somebody like Puff or Dr. Dre coming along and being like, yo, that's a hit record. Let me touch it up a little bit. Let me put the right artist on it. Let me produce that artist on it vocally and tell them what to do. Let me do all the peripheral things. Your little fucking beat you made in your fucking mother's basement wouldn't be shit. It would be just another fucking million beat of fucking trash that exists in the world. So when somebody like Kanye or Puff or Dr. Dre taps
Yeah, we
a
should
young
probably throw
producer,
DJ Khaled in there too, given the
DJ, no,
criticism
well,
he's
yeah,
taking.
no, because you know what? There's the thing about DJ Khaled is that he doesn't do that same thing. DJ Khaled doesn't. Well, nowadays he does it more, and nowadays he does because he's gotten himself to. But when he was first doing like All I Do Is Win, if I'm not mistaken, there's a producer, a specific producer for All I Do Is Win, and DJ Khaled is not it. DJ Khaled is
Mm.
just the artist on the record, but he doesn't do anything vocally, so people criticize him because they're like, but he did it. I don't see his name as a
Well, I mean,
producer. I know for a fact he's not on the record because all I hear is DJ Khaled, and that's the end of his voice type of thing. So people criticize him for that, right? But he didn't actually, for a lot of years there, his catalog was not him taking credit for other producers' shit. Nowadays, he does because you know what I mean? Nowadays, he's producing huge records and he understands. Listen, those guys are actual producers. The guys that everybody in hip hop thinks are producers are not producers. They are beat makers. There's a difference between the two. A guy who sits at home, goes like this, makes a fucking beat, or click, 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 or fucking Fruity Loop and makes a beat, that's not a producer, buddy. I'm sorry to break your little fucking wannabe producer heart, but if you don't know how to get in the studio, record the song with the artist, tell the artist what to do on the record, you're not producing shit, bro. Like, honestly, this is controversial to say. I know it's going to be controversial to say. Honestly, all the beat makers that I've worked with all these years are fucking lucky. I fucking give them credit on these fucking beats. I should take the production credit and give them a co-producer credit because all you're doing is making a fucking beat. That's not the. I could do that shit. Anybody could do that shit. Anybody could do it. The producing the record is the production part. That's the actual producer. In old all Michael Jackson records, Quincy Jones did not beat make shit. Quincy Jones can actually play instruments, unlike a majority of the guys that we're talking about who grew up in an era where they didn't have to learn instruments in order to become beat makers. But Quincy Jones didn't play a fucking thing on a majority of Michael Jackson's records, but he produced every fucking record. Why? Because he brought in this drummer, he brought in that saxophonist, he brought in this, and then when everybody was in there, he was conducting the orchestra of the motherfucking and telling them, no, 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 don't do that. Give it to me with a little bit more swing. Give it to me a little bit more low on the back. You know why? Because that's what a producer does. A producer produces the record. He produces the artist. He produces the instrumentalist. He produces even the beat maker.
well,
And
look
that's
at it
what
like,
Puff.
and even just bigger than that, right? Because the term producer isn't just exclusive to music, right? It's a pretty universal art term, and it's across all
It's
domains.
all music.
And when you look at
All
the
music.
producers, no, but even beyond music, look at movies. There's still a
Well, it's a
producer.
different type of thing, and it means a different type of thing completely almost. See, a producer in hip hop or a producer in music, period, across the board, isn't the guy who's producing the money that it takes for things to get done. In movies, essentially, a producer is so the correct equivalent for
Would
a
be like the
producer.
director.
The director, exactly. The
Mm.
director is the equivalent in movies. In movies, a producer really is just the money and the finance. He's like the label, essentially. But the
Right,
point that
right.
I'm trying to make here is right, is
What's
that
up, Lindell?
a producer in music does other things other than, and so Puff and Dr. Dre and Kanye West and even DJ Khaled, what they do is produce, and they go into the session with either the beat that the beat maker made or with the beat maker and the artist that they're working with, and they tell them what they need them to do. And then from there, they produce the entire record. They have an engineer, they have a beat maker, they have the artist, they have
Yeah,
background
it's like the
vocalists.
project manager of the project in a sense. Like if you were to go corporate with it, because the
This is the thing.
project.
I really like the idea of conductor because a
Mm,
producer conducts, like literally like an orchestra. Because at the end of the day, an orchestra can't do what an orchestra does without the conductor. A
facts.
motherfucking violinist, a cellist, all those motherfuckers, they don't know how to do shit without the motherfucker going like this and telling them, listen, motherfucker, bring that bitch up, bring that bitch down. You know what the fuck I'm here to do.
Yo,
Beat
the
makers,
conductor is the live sound engineer too. It's a crazy
live
job when
sound
you think
engineer,
about it.
and producers. So like this little sigma of like Puffy didn't do shit. He wouldn't be no the beat makers underneath Puff who got bullshit producer co-producer credit don't deserve credit. They ain't shit. I would if I was Puff. The motherfuckers are lucky. Let me tell you something. Because people talk shit all the time about Puff and like how they do bad business. I would do quote unquote worse business. You know what I would do? I would do white business. I would do the
Oof,
business. I would do the
oof.
business that the music industry created before they allowed black industry executives to fucking actually be fair. So Puff is an angel for FY, for people who don't know. Puff let the locks out of a contract. He didn't have to. Puff let Mace go be a preacher when he didn't have to. Puff did a whole bunch of shit that people criticize him for, and it's like that's actually really kind and considerate of him. He didn't have to do that. If he was
Nah,
a white industry executive, he would have kept them enslaved and have them motherfuckers the way that Warner Brothers had Prince all them years. Make that motherfucker change his name, bitch. Change your name, reestablish yourself, and figure it the fuck out on your own. Don't come around here thinking I'm gonna give you some breaks. People sign away their lives without reading, and then they want for the world to cry for them because they signed away their life because they were you were desperate once upon a time in your life, and you knew you weren't shit and that you didn't have shit. And here came somebody with a fucking opportunity, and they gave you that opportunity, and then you didn't fulfill the contract. You did not become Drake. You did not become Madonna. You did not become Michael Jackson. And now you're bitter because you thought you were going to be one of them. Because if you would have been one of them, you would have recouped so much money, you wouldn't give a fuck about the money that you quote unquote got fucked over with that first deal from. But you didn't get fucked over. You got the same deal everybody get. Entry level employee deal, bro. You're getting fucking minimum wage. Everybody gets it. You want to know why? Because the amount of money that they put into you is also back end shit that they know that they might not recoup. So if you end up being a dud, the way 90% of the artists that they sign end up being, then they don't have to worry about, okay, you know what? We gotta fucking actually slave drive this motherfucker and make him make 5 more albums so we can recoup our money. No, they don't do that. They're like, yo, you know what? End of the day, we no big deal. We didn't really invest too much in this motherfucker. What we invested, we can deal with the loss. It is what it is. But people, and then fans do this bitch ass shit where they're like, oh my god, I'm miserable at my job and I'm treated unfairly in my life, and now I'm gonna project that onto artists and be like, yo, that's not fair that that's happening to such and such. Stop crying for people who had better opportunities than you and shit them away. That's like me crying for homeless white people. You fucked away your white privilege. That's not on me, bro. That's on you. That's all the way on you. You fucked over your white privilege. You could have used that shit at any point. You could have fucking figured it out, but you didn't. So now you want me to cry for you, bro? That's not the way this shit works. So
nah.
Puff is an angel. Puff is an angel. He's a great producer. and he is going to do to Jermaine Dupri what Jadakiss did to the motherfucking Dipset team.
Tell him.
I promise you. I promise you that
All right.
shit. You want to know why? Because let me tell you something. I've been around both these gentlemen. Okay, I've been around them. Let's be clear on what I said. I said I've been around them. I don't know them personally, right? I didn't even shake hands with them. I refuse to like be one of those groupie motherfuckers. Like, oh my god, Puffy, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan from a distance, motherfucker. All good, because I'm the man too. You know what I mean? Like Puff just didn't realize he was in my circumference. I wasn't in his circumference. He was in my circumference. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yes.
so I've been in the area of both these motherfuckers. Jermaine Dupri is a timid little bitch. He's a timid bitch. Matter of fact, you could go to the first season of The Rap Game, his TV show, where he had Dame Dash on the show, and Dame Dash disrespects him and talks to him like the little bitch that he is while they're away at fucking lunch and shit. You know what I mean? Jermaine Dupri is a little fucking bitch. And you know what? Everybody doesn't know. People think of Puff and they think of shiny suits and they think, yeah, take that. They think of all this dancing shit. Puff is a fucking savage. He is a fucking New York certified fucking savage. And behind closed doors, that motherfucker talks like a bigger gangster than Suge Knight. Okay? So when that motherfucker gets on that stage and he has that energy, he is going to shit down Jermaine Dupri's catalog. And that's what it takes for Verzuz nowadays. If you're going to be on a stage together, it's not even about the records anymore now. Now it's about all the peripheral shit, all the energy, how you sap somebody's energy. It's like battle rap. It's literally like battle rap. And what the Locks did to Dipset was basically punch them in the fucking face. And they were not able to recover after the third song. The first song they lost. But by the third song, when Jadakiss came out and did that old freestyle and was talking shit like, these motherfuckers ain't shit, they talking over the record. Yo, it was a rap. And JD, he's gonna go up there thinking that he's gonna be able to just play his records, and his records are gonna do all the talking for him, and like get everybody
Puff's
to
gonna
like
bring out like
realize
the
how
entire
great.
the roster.
No, because Jermaine Dupri has more of an alive roster. I've seen people say this argument, like, "Oh, Jermaine Dupri's roster is alive and fucks with him." Puffs, Craig Mack is dead, Biggie is dead, Black Rob is dead.
Bro, he'll pull
Mace doesn't want to
MGK
fuck.
out.
Mace doesn't want to fuck with him. I mean, nobody cares about MGK. He's not gonna fucking play MGK. He's crazy. Honestly, I'd be surprised if he plays Janelle Monáe. You know what I'm saying? Which he should. But what he's responsible for in Janelle Monáe's catalog, I don't think is necessarily so. The point that I'm trying to get to here is that Puff is going to shit down his fucking throat when they get on that stage, and people don't realize that. Mark my word, I'm willing to put $50 on this with no loss. So, like, if I do lose, so this is the bet, right, Holden? This is the bet. Check it out. If I win and Puff shits down Jermaine Dupri's throat, you don't owe me shit. If Jermaine Dupri wins, I'll give you $50, bro.
I'm with that shit.
Free fucking $50, bro. And you didn't even say anything against Puff. You're just here.
Nope.
You're just here. If there would have been somebody in the comments participating with us and engaging in the conversation, they would have gotten the $50.
That's facts.
Start participating.
Now y'all know.
In the chat.
See Lindell?
Start participating in
Lindell's asking questions like, is there a violinist that jumps out at you, Flacko? Which arguably is unrelated.
Absolutely.
But you can answer that question.
Absolutely. I can absolutely answer that question immediately. There's I forgot their names. You know what? I know another violinist. How about that? Mary Ben-Ari. Mary Ben-Ari played all the violins on all of Kanye's college dropout, late registration stuff, and all that era. She played the violins on Ludacris featuring Trina, Be All Right. If you play that song, when people hear that beat, they always say, go look it up real quick, Holden, and play that shit. Ludacris featuring Trina, B, the letter B, the letter R, and then the word right. B-R right.
Ludacris,
Let me tell you something. That is one of those beats that when people realize, oh my God, Kanye West produced this, it's like, yo, Kanye is one of the great. If he's not the greatest, he is one of the greatest producers we have ever had in the entire history of hip hop.
Oh man, ludicrous.
I got my money right. Legs wide. Front, back. Side to side.
All right, that's all I'm playing because we don't want to get. That's a big song.
We don't want to play, but that violin was prominent. Soon as the beat comes on, you hear it. Beautiful violin. Mary Ben-Ari on that shit. She had an excellent album, by the way, which featured Pharoah Monch and featured Kanye West and featured a lot of the people in the underground hip hop scene that she collaborated with around the time. She's a fantastic violinist. Really, I wanted to see the two brothers. There's these two young black brothers. I just can't remember their name. And they do like a hip hop violin thing. And they perform all over the country, all over the world. I just can't remember their names.
Yeah.
Black.
I fucks pretty hard with Lindsay Sterling. She be doing her thing with the violins, does covers, bops around with different people. She's the only one I could actually name. But yeah, violinist talk.
This Verzuz is happening at some point. They didn't give us a date. It's happening at some point in 2023.
Yeah,
when it does happen,
I'm time stamping this shit so we can get clips out of it now.
If Puff loses, Holden gets a free $50 from me.
Let's go.
If Puff wins, once again, I'm just right the way I always am. You know what I mean? Even though I was wrong, I was wrong about
All right.
I predicted Dipset winning the Locks versus Dipset, which before that day and that battle, Verzuz was a different thing. And the Locks, they turned it into a rap battle that day. And now that it's a rap battle, I understand rap battle. And believe me, I don't care. Now I don't care about your content doesn't matter. That's what people don't understand about rap battles. Your content, it don't matter what you're writing. It matters how you're fucking saying it, how you're delivering it, what you're doing, how you look while you're doing it. All that is what really matters. Your pace and cadence when you're doing it, when the crowd oohs and ahs, if you take the right appropriate amount of time before you jump right back in.
Especially,
that's what matters.
You're not even like, even if I like think back to the Facebook conversations after the fact, that was a huge part of the conversation too. And like, if I'm not mistaken, in like the KRS-One battle, you couldn't hear the crowd reaction, and that was a big point that people made, was that the crowd reaction in the video wasn't reflective of reality, so that argument's invalid type thing. But yeah, before we go on to the next topic, I'm gonna reset the Zoom right quick because there's about 4 minutes left. So before we get into the next one, and then we'll get on with the next topic.
We'll be right back, folks.
All right.
Small little intermission.
1 second, y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all can still hear me, though. If you can't, oh well. But, oh shit, what happened to Zoom here? Yo, it's being laggy. Now we back in it. Now y'all can see my face again. Then we click this button. Click that button. Go over here. This is the vibe, everyone. Oh, wrong person. Almost sent that to Chris. As much as we wanted, Chris around. Let me just get the share going, so at the very least right away. Nah, we'll wait till we have a reason to share. And Flacko will be here shortly. Boom, back at it. Alrighty.
Next subject.
So the next subject is how Donald J. Trump has not yet been arrested, even though it was supposed to be on Tuesday.
Right. I mean,
it's not a huge topic in the sense of there's a lot, but I mean, I don't know how the guy's like, I don't know. He's got his own social media platform. I think that a lot of these...
he did that.
These tweets are meant to go like viral on other platforms. Like, hey, look, if you still want that Trump shenanigans, come over to this other platform where I'm at. And I think he's running for president again. I might be wrong.
Yeah, he is.
So he's got to do what he got to do to be in the news cycle like he did last time. And I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
not happening, man. Let me tell you something. America has existed for 250 years, and there's never been a point. The United States of America has existed for 250 years, and there has never been a point in 250 years when a United States president has been arrested. I don't think that the fucking streak is going to be broken while we're like alive at all. That is one thing. Like, I didn't think that we would live to see a black president, but that did happen. But this, I don't think that this will ever happen. There will never be a
Nah.
point when the United States of America will allow for one of their presidents or former presidents to be arrested. It's just not the way. And that just further proves that we really do have a dictatorship and a monarchy. And these people are essentially, our rulers. You know what I mean? Because if they weren't our rulers, then Nixon would have gotten arrested. W. Bush would have gotten arrested. Clinton would have gotten arrested. Everybody who violated American rights by taking actions that directly, like, affected American citizens would be arrested because you violated your citizens' rights. But them niggas ain't going to fucking jail. Are you kidding me? America's too corrupt and fucking evil to let their presidents go to jail. They would never. America would never be.
Because it would set a precedent, and that's what people I don't think realize. It's not necessarily about now.
Exactly.
It's all the people in charge would, in the future, know that other people would use this in the court system. Because if I'm not mistaken, 90% of the U.S. court system, not just the U.S., most of our court systems are, did that shit happen once upon a time in history, and is there a precedent that we can use to go after it like this? So the second it happens, it becomes a trend, whether or not people like it, and that's just how it's going to be treated. So they're not going to let it happen. They're going to, and even if they arrested him, it would all be for show. He'd be let out, and etc.
He'd be let out. He's definitely
There's
not.
no going to jail.
There's never a point where that man is going to serve a 15, 20-year sentence. That's just not happening.
Even Lindell's like agreeing with it.
The people that want that and think that are delusional and crazy. That shit fucking crazy, bro. Like, nah, that's just not gonna happen. And FYI, right? If we're being serious, like I said, every president in the history of the United States of America would need to go to jail after they serve their presidency. Obama, which I have a lot of respect for, and I give him a lot of credit for being a great president. Guess what he did? He fucking sent drone attacks to the Middle East and all over the world and killed innocent people left and fucking right.
Yo, just like to add another, even like on that subject, right? I happened to be in Pakistan during Obama's presidency. I could tell you that the people in Pakistan found it very bizarre how the U.S. treated them. Because on the one hand, you're giving them U.S. foreign aid, and on the other hand, they're droning the shit out that region that they were targeting heavy. So it's wild to see it.
Inception.
I think
there has never been a good president in the history.
I'm like, we're talking shit that if it happened in a different part of the world would be considered like war crime shit. Like, I know it's big terms, but if we're going to use it for all the other people, you got to use it for all the people that it applies. And
Exactly. And that's my main point. That's why I say we have never had a good president. Because at the end of the day, the same energy that you give all these so-called dictators and all these countries that America goes and frees, right? Like, oh, they freed Iraq from the evil reign of Saddam Hussein. They freed Libya from the evil reign. And then
destroyed all their art and culture.
That's what they always do. Like, America is, we're going to skip to the next topic after that, right? And
TikTok
we're going to talk
trial.
about TikTok on trial. Exactly.
You want me to play that
America's
video?
Doing the dog and pony show. Yes, go ahead.
All right, let me load that up. And I think I got to share the screen first. Boom. Make sure to hit share sound. And maximize. Oh, whoops, wrong video.
The head of TikTok testifying on Capitol Hill. More than 150 million Americans use the social media platform to share and view videos. But as CBS News' Nicole D'Antonio reports, some in Congress are concerned the data isn't safe in the hands of the Chinese-based company that owns TikTok, and they're calling for a ban.
Lawmakers summoned TikTok CEO Shou Chu to explain what his company is doing to keep user data safe.
National security experts are sounding the alarm, warning that the Chinese communist government could require TikTok to compromise device security, maliciously access American user data, promote pro-communist propaganda, and undermine American interests.
Chu told Congress that his company has taken steps to ensure U.S. data isn't shared with China.
Building what amounts to a firewall that seals off protected U.S. user data from unauthorized foreign access. The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
But concerns on Capitol Hill about U.S. national security has led to bipartisan calls from some lawmakers to restrict or even completely ban the social media app in the U.S.
To the American people watching today, hear this: TikTok is a weapon by the Chinese Communist Party to spy on you, manipulate what you see, and exploit for future generations.
TikTok has engaged in an extensive lobbying campaign to keep the app legal, even paying to send a group of creators to the Capitol ahead of the hearing.
If the app were shut down, it would be detrimental, of course, for me and my business, right? Because it's at the core of our branding strategy.
But it's not just lawmakers that are concerned about user data privacy. A new CBS News poll out this morning shows 61% of Americans surveyed support a ban of the platform. But that number drops to just 39% of people 18 to 29, the group most likely to use the platform. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
There's a lot. There's a lot of things that bothers me with that.
First of all, let me attack this real quick, because I'm passionate about this. Like, it's such bullshit. It's such a dog and fucking pony show. Like, such a dog and fucking. She said, "What is it that they're looking to protect? What you see. What you see." You mean kind of like the movies that we've been fucking giving to the world for fucking a century now? The propaganda of America constantly putting military movies, oh, the big bad this, the big bad that, big bad Russia, big bad China, oh, the White House invasion of this, fake movies, real movies, all always depict the United States of America as this great saint, this patron saint that's coming to give freedom to the world, when really what they're doing is installing puppets that they can control to then fucking rape a whole region of people of their resources to give them to America. And so now that China is doing the same thing, because Facebook does the same thing that TikTok does. Twitter, Instagram,
all of it.
Google, YouTube, all of that shit does all the same shit. So it's okay for citizens of other countries to have their information extrapolated by the United States of America and used for the United States of America's advantage. But it's a problem if China does the same thing. Get the fuck out my face, bro. It's bullshit.
Yeah, but even bigger than that, like, so let's say we're really trying to target them for what it is. People don't actually know the full extent in technology how this works. You know Fortnite, right? The company that owns Fortnite is 40% owned by a Chinese company, the same one that owns TikTok at the top level. So that means that all of these people's kids playing Fortnite, all of that shit like that. And that's just one game. When you really run the gambit of like what everything China owns from a video game and all these other perspectives, like, nah, nobody's cutting out all this shit. And if it's really about that, you got to close all these holes. But they're just targeting TikTok because, like you said, it's the big bad. It's election time. It looks like we're doing shit. But, man, then these Congress people walk in the room and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. If you watch any part of the hearing, then you're watching the TikTok man laugh in their face while he's answering their questions because they don't know.
They don't know. They don't realize that it's on American servers. Somebody commented on my post that I made about that, and they were like, oh, no, what's wrong is that they gave us the version that doesn't have all the education stuff that China has. No, motherfucker. It's that the Chinese people care about their education. So the
Well,
educational
I'm gonna-
TikTok pages, in China and other countries are more viral. So then that content gets more plays. In America, the kids don't give a fuck about
They
education.
want to see that
So
booty.
they don't give a fuck about none of that shit. So don't blame China. Blame your children. Blame your parenting. Blame the school system in the United States of America. Stop fucking looking to blame China and make a villain. Look in the fucking mirror for once. Stop looking to place blame for your shit on other people. Like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And the communist shit, real quick, this one's another one. The communist shit that, China at any point could just force TikTok to give up their information to the government. The United States of America constantly forces. They tried to force Apple to give up customers' fucking things. They have tried to force Facebook. Facebook was just on fucking trial. They invaded Waco, Texas.
Facebook fucked up real bad. Let's be real.
Because a man, nonetheless. But because a man, the point is, they actually fucked up. But you still let them go free, and they're still doing business here in the United States of America.
And let us be abundantly clear. Facebook ain't changed shit.
They ain't changed shit. So all that they did was line the right pockets in the right senators that like went up there and asked them to go up there. The United States of America invaded Waco, Texas, because a man convinced other men to follow him as a god and to give up their wives to him. Fam, it's the United States of America. Motherfuckers came here to flee religious persecution. If this man could get 50 people, 100 people, I don't care how many people he could get, to follow behind him and worship him and give up their wives to his bedroom and all this shit, fam, that is his fucking American right. But they invaded him. Why? Because they don't like that. The Black Panthers. I could keep on naming groups. You know who America didn't invade and didn't destroy, though, magically, all these fucking years? The KKK. Magically, for some reason, they just let them operate.
At one point, I don't even think people know this, but at one point, 5% of the U.S. population was part of the KKK. 5%.
There's a heavy amount of KKK in the United States military, in police forces all around the country. And this is my point, that I'm just like, America does this bullshit too much of keep on pretending that I'm an idiot, that we're all idiots, and that we don't know that they're the big bad guy. Stop fucking interjecting your nose in other people's business. Stop making fucking pretend villains. China, North Korea, and Russia isn't America's enemy. They're only America's enemy because America chooses to interject themselves into the things that they're doing around them. And guess what? They're not always doing right. I'm not saying like, Russia has a right to invade Ukraine. That's not what I'm saying at all, right?
Nah.
I'm not saying that they're good guys for invading Ukraine, right? But what I'm saying is that there's no difference between Russia invading Ukraine and the United States of America invading fucking Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan. There is no fucking difference.
You're not wrong there.
One fucking
because
iota.
people come up with like Russia would be like, well, look, y'all NATO's are getting too close, not down, and in the American thing, it's this oil situation ain't what we like. We're gonna go interfere now. End of the day, boils down to the same thing. But it's like, if people really, really cared about this shit, they wouldn't be focusing on fucking TikTok. Like, they'd be focusing on the real politics of the situation, where there is big economic things happening where America should be a little worried, but nobody's looking at it. Like the fact that people are trying to remove the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency. That's not good for the U.S. of A.
Not good
I ain't
at
seen
all.
a single fucking person talking about TikTok talking about that shit.
But that's because the United States of America doesn't want that to be the like news that's out there and shit. And they do actually control the fucking TikTok that's in America and shit. Listen, man, at the end of the day, all I do know is this, is that the United States of America is fucking evil. The same way that all these countries they pretend are the evil countries are evil. The United States is just as evil, if not 10 times worse than those guys. America's so if you think that Russia and then people fall for it too. That's what I feel bad for because I talk to people that I know to be intelligent people, that I know to be discerning, intelligent people who are not religious, right? So like, oh, they already don't follow one of the major things that everybody follows in the rest of the world, religion, right? So they don't follow that, but then they still fall for America's propaganda of like China's evil, Russia's evil, North Korea's evil. They're not evil. They are literally listen. If you want to believe in Illuminati, right? Illuminati would be a one world government. The closest that you can get to a one world government is the United fucking Nations. And the one country that every country in the United Nations rolls over and fucking does whatever they want to do for, it's the United States. So if there's one government that is responsible for trying to implement an Illuminati of one world government, it would be the United States of America. So therefore, it stands to be told that if the Illuminati and one world government is the evil people, that North Korea, China, and Russia are actually the good fucking guys fighting against the evil corporation, trying to make everybody in the fucking world fall on bended knee to them and worship their motherfucking almighty dollar. So, yeah, listen, that's the end of that. Let's move on.
No, that's good shit. You started getting into some shit where you could be a sci-fi writer in another life. So next up is the snitch who shall not be named is beat up and for some reason people believe is fake, whereas personally I'm going, that took a while. That took a lot longer than I thought it would take. That was my take when I saw the situation. I'm like, yo, it's been like well over a year and shit. And it was some random, I think, Florida mans who took him out.
I'm convinced that the people that think that it's fake are either huge wrestling fans or people that have never been in an actual fight. Because there's no way. I've been jumped before. When that guy stomped down on Tekashi's, my fault, on the rat who shall not be named, the rat who shall not be named, the snitch who shall not be named, right? When he stomped down on his rib cage, bro, I felt that shit. You want to know why? Because I've ended up in the hospital from being hospitalized, from fucking having fractured ribs, from fucking being jumped and stomped. All right? Listen, there is a certain sound that the body makes. There is a certain actions that cannot be fucking... His wince and the sound and the impact that guy came down with is all real, bro. There is nothing fake about that shit. And then, like, afterwards, you see, it's hilarious because the initial videos was 3 different videos that I saw on College Kid. 2 of them are in the bathroom while he's getting jumped, and then the third one is like him as he's walking out of the bathroom, and the guy talking to him like, "Hey man, I'm actually a really big fan, bro." Which was hilarious. That third video of when he's walking out, you can see the swelling presently happening on his face from it literally being hit so much, fam. So like I don't know, man. It's just not fake to me. I don't see anything looking fake. Maybe it was arranged but it's I guess it would be the same thing wrestling people say when it's fake, right? When wrestling people are told that wrestling is fake, it's like, well, why don't you go in there and do it yourself if it's so fake? Or, it's real. Maybe it was scripted, but it was real. They really hit that man, bro. They really hit that man. Maybe he set it up for clout, the situation, so that it could go viral and he could be. But I also don't see he could go viral in other ways.
Yeah, no, this doesn't feel like it's like in his MO, because like he's more likely to have taken a video saying, "Yo, I'm over here and none of y'all beat me up," and then that would have been more what I expect. Because now that he's been beat up, I guarantee you he's pulling up with more security at a lot more shits in the future. Like that campaign may change a little bit, just a little bit.
Absolutely.
At least until he feels cocky again.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Yeah, it definitely looked real to me. I don't understand why people think. I said, I made a post about it, and I'm just like, yo, the confidence that conspiracy theorists have is baffling to me. It'll make a person like me who is absolutely confident in things second guess himself. I stayed quiet about that video from morning until night, watching people conspiracy theorize about it. Like, yo, like it made me second guess the shit. Like, is it fake? Let me look at this again a couple times and shit. Like, that is the craziness that like people that don't know what they're talking about, the confidence that they have is we need that confidence for other good things in this world. Like instead of wasting it on fucking like that, we need it somewhere else for something else. Like for the confidence, we need that confidence for actually fucking eliminating racism from humanity. Like have the confidence, because I don't believe that it can happen ever. Like at this point, I think that racism has been so ingrained in society and in humanity that it could never end, and it's never gonna stop. So when young people are like hopeful that they're gonna end racism, I'm laughing because I'm like, ha ha ha, silly young people and their ignorance to the ways of the world, which proves that I'm a jaded motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so like,
because like as much as people want to say, and it might be that just to like follow up on that, that yes, maybe here we'll see a degree of less people dying related to things, but watch the rest of the world as racist shit be going on everywhere that nobody ever even talk about, and half the conversations is they focus on the like more well-known versions of racism we've all come to accept happen. But like shit runs real deep and is real global, and I don't think people even recognize like it's gonna sound dumb, but if you talk about garbage and waste disposal, there's a lot of racism in that world. Like just literally who takes our trash.
Racism and everything, literally
All this shit.
Everything is built on the hierarchy of white man first and then everyone else. You know what I mean? The order of everyone else doesn't matter to them either. You know what I mean? They're willing. White people are willing. That's why not for nothing. There's something that I haven't talked about at all on this show. It's something that I have a lot of strong opinions about, which is the FBA, which is Foundational Black Americans. And it's this new movement that's happening in the United States of America of like, where like Black Americans that are born in the United States of America and come from parents and generational enslavement, also indigenous. A lot of them say that they're indigenous to the United States of America, right? And they don't fuck with Black anything else. So they don't like Africans. They don't like Black. They don't like Black Latinos. They don't like Black Caribbean. They don't like Black anything else from anywhere else. They don't like it. They are like, we only fuck with, and that is something that I do believe, like, the way that people were talking about Black Lives Matter and, oh, this was created by white people, this was created by white people, I do believe whoever planted the idea of FBA and the gentleman that is like spearheading it and the groups that are spearheading it, that was done by white people. Because we were heading in a direction where Blacks all across the world were starting to look at each other as if though, yo, we are a diaspora, we are a people that should be united all across the globe. And you can't tell me that there wouldn't be a white person making a concerted effort to end that as quickly as they possibly can. And the best way to do that is to divide us as a people. And the FBA is doing nothing but dividing and looking at everybody who is there, supposed to be their ally. Because that's what I was trying to say, right? Is white people, they make allies when they need to. When America was earlier on, Italians and Irish were not white. But then when the numbers start dwindling for white people and they start becoming in the minority, what happens miraculously? The Irish and the Italians suddenly become white. Now, as years continue, Asians and Indian from India people are considered white as well, right? Like they are allowed to certain white rights. In South Africa, there's going to be certain black people that they will allow to consider themselves white. White people are all about allowing people into their circle when it benefits them. When your numbers will help them shore up their numbers, they are absolutely willing to let other people be a part of their shit. And black people need to adopt that same mentality of like, we are all a people, we are all united. Dividing ourselves at this point isn't doing us any benefit. If anything, it's just doing them benefit. And so I forgot how I got here.
No, it was a good tangent. It just turned into a different point than I thought. I'm like time stamping this episode as we go in real time, and that just
Smart
became racism will not end. Well, there's no way I'm gonna watch this after. Is what I learned this week. I'm like, I'm never really gonna actually make the clips.
Yo, there's no
so now I'm time stamping clips. I'm I can go to those timestamps and deal with it later. That I can do.
Exactly.
But
exactly. No, that's smart.
Next up, we have XXXtentacion's killers found guilty.
Hey, yo.
And their lawyers are...
that Holden? XXXtentacion.
Oh, my bad. Yo, sometimes it happens. Sometimes I'm not,
Jesus.
It happens.
Temptation. So fuck.
Yeah, I went through that on the review for his shit, and all of his fans got really mad at me.
Murder shocked the rap game and left his fans devastated. Now, 5 years later, the trial is finally ending, and we're getting answers about his brutal death. The whole case has been a wild ride. From one of the alleged killers flipping on his homies to Drake almost taking a stand and having to testify. X's murder trial has been filled with drama every step of the way. And today, we're breaking down exactly what happened inside the courtroom. Let's get right into it. Within 2 days of X's murder back in June 2018, the cops already had their first suspect in custody, Dedrick Williams. He was booked for dangerous and depraved first-degree murder, robbery with a firearm, and driving without a license. And a few months later, they also charged Robert Allen, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsome on premeditated first-degree murder. At first, it seemed like a simple robbery case that turned deadly. X's death was a tragedy, but back then, nobody knew how wild the story was going to get. In 2018, X fans expected answers quickly, but it took 5 years for all of the shocking details to finally come out. Before the trial even started, there's already some drama going on between the alleged killers. Back in August 2022, Robert Allen flipped on his homies and pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against them. If you don't already know, the truth about why he flipped is crazy. But before we get to that, we gotta break down what allegedly happened the day they killed X. On June 18, 2018, X and his uncle, Littyyy Kerr, went to a motorcycle shop after X took out $50K in cash at a local bank. According to the prosecution, Allen and the other defendants saw X and followed him to the shop. Security footage shows Allen and Williams following X into the store and walking right by X. They wanted to make sure it was really him, and while they were inside, they picked up a mask to use during the robbery. Allen told the court he didn't want to go through with it because he was already seen on surveillance cameras. According to him, Boatwright and Newsome were having second thoughts as well, but that's when Williams asked if they were scared, and Boatwright said, "All right, we're gonna get him." They waited outside for X, and when he tried to leave, they blocked his whip with their SUV. That's when Newsome and Boatwright hopped out with their guns and ran up on X and snatched his chain and Louis V bag with 50 bands in it. Then X's uncle, Littyyy Kerr, hopped out of the whip and ran away. During the trial, he testified that the only reason he's still alive is because he ran. And the last words he heard X say was, "What is this for?" After that, shots rang out and X was left dead in the middle of the street. According to the prosecution, Boatwright turned around and murdered X in cold blood after the robbery was already over. And get this, according to Allen, Newsome and Williams didn't want to give him a cut of the 50K because he stayed in the SUV the whole time. Apparently, Boatwright spoke up for his homie and said he should get some of the money too, but Allen only got 5K while the rest of them walked away with 15K. So that's why he agreed to testify against them and help blow the case wide open. Allen completely wrecked Boatwright's defense too. Boatwright's lawyer said he had searched for accessory to murder after X died, which he said proved Boatwright didn't actually kill him. But Allen testified that Boatwright actually looked it up because Allen was afraid he would get booked on murder, and Boatwright told him that at worst, he'd get hit with an accessory charge. Boatwright allegedly looked up the legal definition while they were talking, which poked some serious holes in his defense. Allen testified that the four of them planned a crime spree together, and they just randomly spotted X and decided to rob him right then. But here's where it gets even crazier. During the opening statements, Dedrick Williams' attorney, Mauricio Padilla, called out Drake and said that the cops never investigated him, even though he had beef with X. He brought up a post that X made on IG where he tagged Drake and wrote, "If anyone tries to kill me, it was Champagne Poppy. I'm snitching right now." The beef between X and Drake started back in 2017 after X and his fans accused Drake of fighting his flow, while he was locked up on false imprisonment and battery.
I don't know how much farther you want to go with it, but I feel like
that's fine. Like, I think you got like a majority of all the info. It ends up that the lawyer is just a fucking putz, and like that was the stupidest move they could have done. The guy himself testified that Drake, the guy that was snitching on his crew, was like, "No, Drake didn't have nothing to do with this." The fuck? What? Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, it's crazy.
That whole case is wild, though. Like,
that's when I knew when his lawyer made the deposition for Drake, Migos, I forgot who else was like deposed. I'm like, these guys are about to get fucked. that if that was me and I was them, I would have immediately been like, yo, I gotta replace my lawyer. My lawyer is a fucking nutcase. He's a fucking conspiracy theorist. Like, nah, I can't fucking have this guy be my representation. They're about to get fucked. But hey, they, you know, I don't want to say they deserve it because no black man deserves to be in American prison system. But like, they definitely don't deserve good shit in life.
Fair. Yeah, that's that case. Lawyers are goof. Don't come at Drake unless you really got proof Drake's involved. Speculation ain't gonna win you a case, lawyers. Might get you some headlines. Might look goofy. The next thing is
Baxter wants to be on the song for our intro theme song because I tagged him. I was like, yo, I think we might owe you some publishing and shit.
Is it Baxter's episode?
No, because it's his voice in the intro theme song.
Like it was the Baxter episode.
Yeah, it was the Baxter episode. Him saying, oh, I like the Perspectives logo. Or I like the Perspectives thing. You know what I mean? Like that's him, his voice in the intro.
Yeah, we were 100% certain who it was that was there. I was like, yeah, it could have been a lot of people, and then I forgot to ask. But yeah, we have a theme song, everyone. That's a thing now.
Theme song. Play the theme song real quick.
Let me just share the audio so you can hear the theme song. It's somewhere in my downloads, I think. I gotta have it here. I just uploaded it to the internet.
My line looking sharp though. I just came from the barber shop.
You know what? I can play it on Spotify.
And for those
it's on
who look
Spotify.
At my orange thing, there's a reason.
Like the perspective.
Because the orange in my lace. You know what I'm saying?
Do you hear it?
The kid be matching. Nah, I don't hear shit.
I don't know why that's not playing. Alright, maybe it's not. I'll have to find it on the internet then. Give me a second. Stop the share. It's going to be on YouTube because we put it on
should be on YouTube. Yep, exactly.
Alright. Perspectives theme song. Hey, it's right there. That's easy.
Give that shit a like, bro.
Oh, that's way too fast.
Oh, you're in fucking 3 times mode.
I went to 1.5 times speed for that one because I'm like, yeah, that's a long video.
Yeah.
Like the perspective.
Say hi, Holden.
I like the perspective. That's Baxter.
Littyyy podcast. Littyyy podcast.
Well, you saying podcast has been stuck in my head for like 3 weeks.
Salutations, everybody.
Perspective.
Say hi, Holden.
Say hi, Holden.
Hi, Holden.
Podcast.
Like the perspective.
Podcast.
I like the perspective.
Like the perspective.
See, that's Baxter.
Like the perspective.
I hear it now.
Podcast.
Like the perspective.
Now, Baxter gets to be a part of history.
Baxter. That's that guy. It's my boy.
Stefano's here. Just with the, I don't know if he came at that moment. I don't know if it was just timing that brought him here, but that feels very serendipitous that Stefano shows up at the exact moment that we play that song.
Stefano, he
However
doesn't
it's said.
care as long as everybody understands that the name is godly and the
Facts.
production is godly. He hit me up the other day in my inbox just to let me know he is the greatest producer that ever lived. And I was like, yo, yeah.
Tell him, Stefano.
Hearted that. You know what I mean? Hearted that.
All right.
And
That
so
was
that, I don't think that we mentioned that intro theme is produced by the way I pronounce it is Stefano Fattorini.
You might be right. I say Stefano Fattorini. I don't know how to say that, but yo, when I see it, I got all that Quebec influence in my head.
It's Fattorini.
First...
He's Italian, so it's
No,
Fattorini.
I know, but
you gotta put a little bit.
No, I'm not. I know when I can't do, and I stay out the game.
Yo, let me tell you something. So the other like a few months back, I'm with the wife, and we're forgot what we were watching something. We were watching something that was in Italy, and I was wondering. I was like, I wonder how you say bicycle in Italian. And I was like, wait a minute, I know Spanish. And I was like, it's probably. I look at her and I was like, it's probably bicicleta. And she was like, that's just bicycle in Spanish. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to put the bicicleta. And she was like, that's racist. That's not going to be it. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's it. And she was like, no, that sounds racist. And I was like, all right. And I looked it up. And you want to know how you pronounce
How do you say it?
fucking bicicleta? That's Italian. You gotta put a little bit of. It's Italian. Bicicleta.
Sometimes shit sounds racist, but it's actually just what it is. Like it's just because sometimes when you start the sentence,
Spanish and Italian are very similar in a lot of their writing and pronunciation. It's just a little bit more oomph in a different direction. It's a little bit more emphasis on the wrong syllables. You know
facts.
what I mean?
But yeah, fair. That was good. I don't really know what the next topic's about, so you're gonna have to run that one. Kings vs Queen 4.
Hey,
Queens
battle
won.
rap time. I got
3-2.
this.
Miss
Holden. If
Hustle.
the people get upset, they coming at me. Battle rap is not paying attention to us. They are busy paying attention to other battle rap blogs that do like dish and shit like that, the gossip and whatnot, shit they care about. Kings vs Queens 4 happened on URL. This was the event that we talked about last week that the fans were upset that they were going to have to pay for because they were already paying for an app, and they were used to Caffeine streaming all the content that they do for free. So Caffeine putting a $25 price tag on it upset them. But guess what happened, Holden? I think it was something like a million. I mean, it definitely isn't. I believe it was something like a million. It hit a million, but it wasn't a million people streaming. That's like 250,000 people streaming on 4 different devices or some shit like that. But really, they're
well, because just to be clear, they would have been flexing that they made that much millions of dollars immediately if that happened.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they would. I think they'd rather keep their, like most businesses would like to keep their success quiet. That's a false like hip hop thing. You know what I mean? To brag about how much you make. All the biggest companies. Look, I was just watching a documentary on Pornhub and the guys behind Pornhub, which are from your fucking hometown,
yes,
buddy.
They are.
Right? Yeah. Right.
No, I used to work like up the street from like where their building is.
Word. And like they're being deposed and something. As soon as they start talking about the money that they're making, they're like, they're feeling very uncomfortable. Nobody who makes money, none of the major corporate. Rupert Murdoch does not want to tell you how much he makes. When you make obscene amounts of money, you do not want to brag about how much money you're making. It's only when you're making a little bit of new bank that you brag about making money. You know what I mean? When you hit your first million, or when even Drake, right? Drake was talking about like, oh man, like it's so hard, like making your first million. I celebrated, blah, blah. And then some billionaire was like, yo, wait until you get to your first billion. You know what I mean? Like that's really harder. Like, so like that, which is kind of like a status that I was talking about the other day, which is like men brag about shit that is just like, why are you bragging? There's somebody out there who's looking at you like, oh, this fucking noob fucking bragging about some shit that is just like, what for, my guy? Like, what are you fucking so enthused about? Anyway.
Oh shit. That was great. That was amazing timing. The fucking Zoom ended. I was so caught up in that. Yeah, we're keeping this in this week. We don't have time to edit nothing. So if you're watching this after the fact, we're just running with it. What are we so enthused about? These are the big questions. But I cracked me the fuck up on timing. I'm going to send that over right now. And Flacco will be back with us in a quick second. And I hope y'all are having a good time with this stream. Probably with you for another 45 or so more minutes of content today. All of you watching this in the future will see the video length, and that's what it will be. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you're down to hear us talk about. Let us know what your thoughts are as we evolve this format. You were so engaging.
Another subject for another time.
Yeah, you were so engaging that like Zoom just kind of like did that thing. I didn't even notice it.
Kings vs. Queens 4 was a great event. It was guys versus girls. This event historically is always like a battle of the sexes type of event, and they keep score during the battles and talk about it live. And in the previous 3 events, Kings vs. Queens 1, 2, and 3, the guys walked away victorious with the majority of the wins. Usually it would be like 4-1 or something like that. 3-2, another, but like they would always win. This year, for the first time, it's like decided that like the ladies walked away with it 3-2. Miss Hustle battled Tay Rock. It's arguable that she 3-0'd him. She definitely 2-1'd him unquestionably. Shuni the rapper 3-0'd Shotgun Suge for sure. There were literal chants of 3-0 in the middle of like her round. It was a wrap for him. And then it could be, and then the third win could be argued that it was Jazz the Rapper versus, not could be argued. Jazz the Rapper took away a tight decision. Some people think that it was like unanimous, definitely her. I didn't hear 3-0 talk, but it was definitely 2-1 talk. I think that it could have went 2-1 either way. Charlie Clips, I think, took the third round, and the second round is debatable in either direction. Either way, though, people do say that Jazz won that battle. So Jazz the Rapper, Miss Hustle, and Shuni the rapper all took wins away and gave the wins to the ladies. It was a really good event. It was a lot for all the complaining that was happening beforehand about like having to pay for a pay-per-view. It seems like that did not matter, and everybody paid the fee because there was a lot of people on the stream. It was a very successful stream. It was a successful event. It was good. It was a good event.
Yeah.
Moving on to more battle rap news. Lush 1 has a new show on Ruin Your Day YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe to Ruin Your Day and follow everything that Lush is doing over there, yo. Word up. Shouts to the homie. Always want to shout out.
Do you know what the new show is? I know I watched just like
I don't
his
think
stream.
that he has, yeah, I saw 2 streams that he's done so far. And I could tell that he's like data mining opinions for. He seems to be like watching stuff, like watching old videos, watching old freestyles, talking about stuff like that. I saw he made a post asking people what their favorite verses in hip hop history are. Yeah, man, he looks like he'll just be doing what he loves to do, which is talk about hip hop. I'm not mad at him. Yeah, work.
Yeah, fair enough.
Definitely go follow Ruin Your Day YouTube channel and give a sub to the channel and leave a like on all of Lush's videos. Check him out. Follow him on everything. Follow him on Instagram, and Twitter, and Facebook, and all that good stuff. TikTok, I'm sure he has one.
Fair. So the next subject you have is extrapolations from The Last of Us.
Over The Last of Us.
Over The Last.
Hold
on.
Over then.
Okay,
over
cool.
than. Extrapolations.
Like, let me just make sure my Facebook is not logged in before I share the screen with chats popping up and shit. Last thing anyone needs. But yeah, you don't need to be logged in for this, so we're good. I'm not even sure what you sent me.
Human history.
Ooh.
Of one terrible catastrophe after another.
I, for once, would love to wake up magically in a better world.
What makes you think the world's going to get better?
Today, people get their energy from the sun. Humans have set foot on Mars. Cancer has been defeated. And yet for every question answered, another one appears.
Here's what you need to know about global warmings. It will all go to shit at the end of the century. We'll be dead. We'll have to miss it. But we'll be smiling in gold-plated coffins. This is not the life that I envisioned it to be.
A man whose house is on fire is incredibly easy to negotiate with.
We cannot give up and go home for one simple reason. We already are home. This is our only home.
I think it helps to look at climate change like a bear. The whole planet's been wrestling with the bear for decades. So far, the bear's been kicking our ass.
What if we were able to develop technology that would allow us to survive, maybe even thrive?
You don't know what's going to happen.
It won't go the way you want. It never does.
I remember
Being happy. But what about now? Are you happy now? Are we bad people? Stop being angry about the past. The future is now.
Look at that cast.
That's a lot of Miami is dangerous. Your mother's moving with her sister in Chicago.
Thought you hated your sister.
It's too hot
What's that,
out
dude?
to hate people these days, Marshall.
Yo, way better show than The Last of Us. The Last of Us is trash. All the Last of Us video game players are hyping up The Last of Us and bullshitting, pretending that the show is fucking good when it's just trash. They're just like, oh man, but it's sticking to the fucking game story. It's fucking servicing all my fantasies, you fucking nerds. That show is trash. It was not a good show. The first season was trash. And this show is clearly going to be head and shoulders way
I think it looks
better.
nifty that like all these big names are like, let's make the show about climate change. Let's make it look realistic. Let people actually see what's coming. And that's super nifty as a concept where like, I mean, it's like as much as everyone hates the conversation, look how mild our winter was. Because you guys basically have the same winter. You know how many snowbanks I saw this year, y'all? You know how many? None. I didn't see a snowbank this year. I live in Montreal.
I don't know
we
what
should
the
have
snowbank is.
Oh, it's like with a big pile of snow on the side of the street.
Okay, yeah. We usually would have those as well, right? We just call it, in New York, it becomes slush. So we just call it all the fucking nasty slush and shit.
Nah, I mean, this shit like piled the fuck up. When I was a kid and shit.
Yeah, it definitely piles up. Like on my block, for example, that's a dead-end block. At the end of that block, they make huge piles of the shit because you're heading towards the end of it. In New York City, there's so many cross streets that it's really hard for it to pile up to a high pile. And you know what I mean? Like they keep on going down these blocks. Manhattan, you walk down Manhattan. So, you know, as they're going through all these blocks and plowing, there's no real place for it to pile up high. It piles up maybe about waist height at max type shit. We didn't get none of that. There was one snowfall that like stuck, and it only stuck for like 12 hours, like the day, like the next day.
We had a bit more snow than that, I'm not gonna lie. But like end of the day, it was like only 2 or 3 of those, oh my god, it's gonna be bad road conditions days. Like it wasn't like it used to be. And when I say used to be, I mean like 6-7 years ago used to be. Shit be changing at a rate where like it's noticeable. And then a lot of us don't care because let's be real, when shit hits the fan, we probably live in one of the best places in the world for shit to hit the fan in terms of what could really go down. It's not like we got earthquakes and tornadoes and all this other shit to contend with. We just got flooding to deal with. Different problem. But like we're not going to get like 60, I don't know how to do it. hot as fuck temperatures. I'm not even gonna try to do conversions. We're not gonna get that kind of heat. We're just gonna get nicer winters.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. I'm used to from growing up that like in New York City, if we had a bad summer, as in it was extremely hot, the next summer would not usually be as bad. And like if we got a really bad winter, then the next winter would not usually be as bad. And I think I need to throw out those equations in my head because moving forward, it's just gonna be this of like the winters won't be so bad, but then also the summer is going to take longer to come around and it'll stick around for less time type shit, you know, which is what happened last year. Summer didn't really show up until like maybe like you got here when in June last year.
It was June-ish.
June-ish, and there were still like breezy springish days when
Yeah,
you
it
were
wasn't.
here.
It doesn't
Like
feel
it
like the
wasn't like
summer's in full effect
it didn't.
until like
Yeah,
July, August. Yo,
but
I like
in New
cycle,
York City,
right?
that's not the way it used to be. In New York
Same.
City, it would hit summer weather by May. Like
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh wow, it's super hot, and you'd see guys outside in fucking shorts by like end of May, beginning of June, type shit.
We see guys in
Now,
shorts out pretty early still. That's
yeah,
some
I
shit.
mean, but that's a different thing. That's like psychopaths and shit. But like,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
but like I was able to cycle till about mid-December 2 years in a row, which is weird because usually by then there's gonna be snow and shit. And nah, the roads was just clear and it wasn't like that cold. But that show does look dope, and I like the fact that they're focusing on shit that like matters, you know, rather than just a bunch of
yeah. No,
dramatized shit.
I can tell you, I watched the first 3 episodes because it's March 17th, right? That already passed, and they dropped the first 3 episodes. Today, I'm about to watch the latest episode, the 4th episode. It's already an amazing show, really well done. Apple TV is the new HBO. Their content is fucking like superbly written, superbly like shot, directed, filmed. The actors that they're getting are like just it's just really good, you know. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's way better than The Last of Us, and if you watch The Last of Us, you should, and you enjoy end of the world apocalypse type of shows. This is way better, and way more feasible. Actually, you know what I mean? Like this might actually happen. Zombie apocalypse is not like there's no indication that that will actually happen. It's just the paranoia that we all had since the first zombie movies, which is really the same thing as Swarm, which is our next subject, right? And we talked about Swarm last week show where like it's what it really is. It's a talking piece. Like it's supposed to be indicative of societal. Like it's supposed to be an interpretation uh I forget what it is that movie makers call it, but like zombies were essentially supposed to be like a metaphor for society and how like drone about it that we go about and how little we care and all these things. So like it was a metaphor for society. And Swarm, you know, it's like more of a direct portrayal of what obsession can look like
Well, it's also like
for an artist.
zombies are a metaphor of society from like 60 years ago, or even later. Like the stuff that we're seeing now is metaphors of today. So like zombies had their place, but like low key, I've been tired of zombies for a hot minute, and I'm interested in new things because what else are we doing with it? Resident Evil done did it to death. That was the super zombies. They got the funny zombies. You got all of this shit. But I haven't seen Swarm yet. I don't know. You said it was getting negative comments. I think
It's getting negative commentary from people who like listen. I'm talking about like the culture. I'm talking about like black people in America and really globally because I have people, but like I haven't really seen my international black friends talk about Swarm very much at all. It's like definitely a black American thing, and it's because Childish Gambino is behind it, and he just finished knocking one out the park with Atlanta. But at the same time, even Atlanta, a lot of black people felt like, oh, this is weird. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. And Swarm is getting more of those criticisms. Like, this is weird. I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. But like, I think that really what it is it's a matter of like we going into it off the hype of other people talking about it without understanding what the subject matter is going to be before you go in. So like if I don't like zombie shows or anything zombie-ish related and I watch The Last of Us just because everybody else is talking about The Last of Us, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So like if you're not understanding that this is like supposed to be like a piece that's like talking about like the obsession that people have with that also is kind of like a suspense thriller horror type of show and along the lines of like Nope and Us and Get Out and Them and shows like that, shows and movies like that, then you're not going to enjoy this show. And that's what Swarm is. Like, it's like a little bit, you know, she's a murderer, she's a serial killer, she's a black woman serial killer, which is like rare. You know what I mean? That is not a thing that really happens much. You know what I'm saying?
Really.
It was a really good show. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I see it getting a lot of criticism online. I see Billie Eilish is getting a lot of praise for her role, which I find like that type of shit is just so crazy to me. How it's like we're shitting, like we as a people are shitting on the thing that's coming from us, and then white people are exalting the one white person that participated in that thing that we're shitting on, and like she's gonna get offers out the ass and like all sorts of opportunities behind this, but like we like Childish is not gonna like greatly benefit from like the show. You know what I'm saying? That he put out and he did.
Man, I feel like Childish might benefit. Maybe with the other actors are not going to benefit the same way.
Yeah, Chloe Bailey, which is one of the Bailey sisters, from Chloe X Haley, which she's the sister of the actress that's going to be playing Little Mermaid in the live action Little Mermaid, the one that caused that uproar.
Right.
Her sister is going to be in that. She was on this show and she was having sex with Franklin, the main character from that's the name of the main character from Snowfall. And that's another show that's popular amongst our culture, but it actually took a while for it to take off. I was watching that show from season 1, episode 1, because I do exactly what we're going to be doing here every week. I will be finding a trailer of something to play for you guys that I am predicting is going to be good shit. I'm going to be curating which is valuable. I'm like, people don't realize, like, this is all that I do. This is what I do. I'm subscribed on YouTube to wild subscription networks, channels, movie trailer channels. And so I watch trailers way before a movie comes, way before a TV show comes. And I can tell off a trailer if it's going to be a good movie, or a bad movie, or a B movie, or a C movie, or a D movie. I can immediately tell from a trailer what it's going to be. And I know what I like, so I know what to tune in for. Like, I'm not a horror guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a big horror fan, but my wife is a super horror buff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even much of a suspense thriller guy, but my wife loves suspense thrillers. And she has equal proportionate taste to me. So, like, when she likes that stuff, she's liking the best of that stuff. So I'll be definitely like, so if I do see a good trailer that's horror, I don't want people to fret. So like if I see a good horror trailer or a good, you know, suspense thriller, it doesn't matter what it is, drama, I watch shit from all genres. We will be playing something every week that you should be watching. This week it was Extrapolations. You should be watching Extrapolations. It's a really good show. It's really well done. Great cast. Meryl Streep, Ed Norton. The list goes on and on of the amount of actors that are in it that are really great actors and know what they're doing.
All right. So next, following that, we have John Wick 4 is released, and you sent me another link here. Give me a second to share the screen.
Because that link isn't related to that.
Oh, that's not It's unrelated.
Unrelated. Because then the next, I'm clearly just covering like entertainment stuff, like TV stuff, movie stuff. So like Swarm, and then John Wick 4 released it released this weekend. People were watching it since like Wednesday night. I don't know how people sign up for early things and they go watch it early. I know a lot of people went to go watch it last night. This is Extrapolations again.
No, I know. I just was getting the link ready.
Okay. Then Ted Lasso is back, right? Like we talked about it, I think a little bit last week, or the week before that, or we talked about Ted Lasso. This is a trailer for a movie that I think we should watch.
Oh, this is also like unrelated. I'm just trying to follow
unrelated. Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. God damn, Holden, keep up. I'm telling you that these next three things on our paper, on our list, are unrelated to each other. I'm just covering the movies and news and a movie, TV shows, news. So we covered Extrapolations, which is out, and The Last of Us, and two shows that already have one show existed. Season 1 of The Last of Us is up completely. 4 episodes of Extrapolations exist online. The Swarm completely exists. The entire first season is up online. You can go watch it. And then John Wick 4 released this weekend, and it now exists, right? And then Ted Lasso also back, new episode this weekend. Fuck Nate the Great. For anybody who's watching Ted Lasso and watched Ted Lasso, fuck Nate the Great. And then now here's a trailer for a movie that's coming that I recommend. I think that this trailer looks good. This looks interesting. This looks like something that I'm definitely going to enjoy watching. So let's check out the trailer for Lola.
All right. Sharing the screen now.
Jesus Christ, Holden.
Yo, I'm doing all the note taking at the same time. It's a lot of rules.
Bring it back to the beginning. What's wrong with you? Put it widescreen, the whole full screen.
Come on. Miss Hadbury, your sister is her mysterious invention, Lola. Lola is a system of electrical processors which allows us to observe broadcasts from the future.
This is magnificent. It's beautiful.
It's going to change history.
This is the true magic.
Movies, royal weddings, a musical rebellion, signals beamed around the world.
Because of this pioneering work, this marks a huge turning point in the war against Nazi Germany.
Tom, you are more brilliant than even you know, and also more dangerous.
We're under sustained attack. 6 German destroyers, 45 heavy air bombardment. Early this morning, catastrophe struck Britain.
Why has it suddenly changed?
The adjustment of variables could lead to a new set of consequences.
I don't understand.
The maliciously false intel resulted in this country being invaded.
We have to leave.
Lola was never meant to be an instrument of violence.
Can we undo this?
Oof, that looks good.
Right? I know good shit, Holden.
I never said you didn't know good shit.
Holden, let me ask you something. You think you trash?
No.
No, right? I don't think you trash either, motherfucker. I only fuck with fly shit. You know what I'm saying? Feel good, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Feel good about yourself. I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, know that you are clearly, you know what I'm saying, of quality of some sorts. I only fuck with top tier shit. I only fuck with the best of the best, son. I drink champagne, boy. You know what I'm saying? I eat at bougie restaurants. I pay $500 for a meal and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
not
I
lying.
drink $300 bottles of champagne like it's fucking nothing. I drink $500 bottles of champagne like it's fucking nothing. Don't come over here asking for any of my $500 champagne, though, okay? It's nothing, but guess what? I worked for that shit to be nothing. You didn't earn the right to fucking drink any of my $500 champagne. You got to get there before you get there, okay? So you can't. But the point that I'm trying to make is I eat fine shit, charcuterie, fly shit. I wear fly shit. Look at my shit. You like this shit, don't you, Hope? I can hide in my little fucking thing. Because, you know what I mean? But it's off to the side. It's not in the middle of the zipper. You know what I'm saying? I do fly shit, Holden, okay? So if I fuck with you, that means that you a motherfucking elite motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with that being said, Sherd, I don't know what the fuck that was. With that being said, clearly Lola looks like it's gonna be good. That's an interesting fucking plot for a movie.
Super
Like,
interesting.
she discovers a way to look into the future. For anybody who didn't follow what happened, she discovers a way to look into the future through like a TV thing, and like that like is like groundbreaking shit. And like so like the World War II doesn't happen, like Nazis don't invade, you know, thing.
Well, no, it happens. It's just that they win.
In her world, right? But they see that, my fault. They see that that Nazis lose. So then you see at the beginning of the trailer that it says Blitz over, that it doesn't happen. But then later on, you see that they actually invade and they're successful, because now by looking into the future, they're affecting the present and it's changing the future in turn. Amazing. The actress that's in it is, damn, give me 1 second. This is the thing that I'm going to start lining up, because I recognize all the, like, I could tell you the black guy that you were like, oh, the guy from the Extrapolations.
That's like
trailer.
Dev Diggs, I think.
Yeah, I think that he was this girl's brother, Rainbow's brother on Blackish, and he was also in the Straight Outta Compton movie, if I'm not mistaken. I just haven't watched that movie in forever, so I couldn't tell you, right? Here we go. Lola, the actress is Stephanie Martini. She was in, what was it that I saw her in that I was like, yo, she was pretty all right.
I'm not sure what you saw her.
I'm not sure.
She was pretty all right. Fair enough. We could.
I watch a lot of stuff. I think it was The Last Kingdom, the TV series. Point being, looks like it. No, it's Emma Appleton that I'm talking about. Emma Appleton was in a bunch of shit. Everything I Know About Love, Pistol. I think that's the pistol. What's that rock band with the pistol in it?
Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols. I think that's the show based on the Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols. Whatever.
Fair. All right,
I recommend Lola.
Next up is Joe Budden's is coming to
Joe
Drink
Budden
Champs.
is good. Then right. So then
No, I legitimately in my head hear it as Buttons now. I don't hear it as Bud.
Joe Buttons. Then I was like, yo, we should cover like the stuff that's coming in the like this weekend and the coming week and shit. So Joe Buttons is gonna be on Drink Champs.
Do you want to watch the trailer?
Trailer.
Yeah. Fair.
Or it's not a trailer, it's like a clip.
But the slaughterhouse, again, me as the outsider looking in.
Come on, give me the blame. I'll take it. I'll take the blame. I've ruined everything. Everything that you loved, I've ruined that shit.
I believe you.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the blame. We don't need, because again, even that's the 10 years long of just stories and talking. Hey, I did it.
It was you.
I did it. No, it was me. It was me.
With Slaughterhouse, you're
It was me. Yes,
you're
Slaughter.
owning up to that one.
Yes, it was me.
Okay, but I gotta ask particulars.
It was me. See, look,
because rumor has it, E1 gave y'all a tremendous deal, and Shady Records gave y'all a tremendous deal.
Okay.
I don't know about what was tremendous and what wasn't. I think E1 gave us an opportunity. I think Shady gave us an opportunity. Grateful for both.
But the Slaughterhouse.
I know it's still playing.
Again, me as the outsider looking in.
Come on,
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll keep on repeating.
He's so wishy-washy.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to it. It's pretty funny because Adam 22, I was gonna avoid the subject of Pedo 22.
Right.
But like, Pedo went on Joe Budden's podcast and got fucking trashed. He got fucking. They actually spoke for the culture and black people all over America and the world that give a fuck about this shit. And yeah, like they held his feet to the coal. So it's gonna be interesting to watch Nori and EFN keep Joe Budden's feet to the coal. I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm a big Drink Champs fan. And over here we don't play that shit of like not giving props to other podcasts and shit like that. Definitely not bigger podcasts that we're nowhere near in competition with. We're not in competition with
Say what you will
anybody.
about Joe Budden. That guy made a lot of bread, a lot of success off of podcasting. People can say what they want about his music, but for a hot minute, it was the two Joes in first and second place in podcast land. The other one being Rogan.
No, you're exaggerating.
Nah, I'm talking on like a numbers, maybe not in the culture.
Yeah, you're talking about you're even then Joe Rogan's numbers were number one across the world versus Joe Budden, who's like number one in America, not the world.
Okay, I hear you.
Know?
Joe Budden still was doing all right. Maybe not.
Yeah, he was doing all right. He was definitely doing good, like 10th place or 12th place overall good, which is huge and immense. Because to crack into that top 10 of that podcast world is like, it's something else. You got to appeal to a different audience, and usually you got to be white, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna reset the Zoom before we move on, and then we can do the song
Finish
shit, I
out.
think.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Gotta reset the Zoom, everyone. I think you can hear me. Bro, I'm struggling so much to think about what songs to play because I keep forgetting about it. It's really like, so all I have is the same song stuck in my head the whole fucking thing. And it is what it is. We're gonna run it because I can't not think about the stupid song. Boom, boom. And I got a bit of a hard stop. I gotta be on the other side of the city at 3:30 today, so it doesn't give me a lot of time between finishing this and bopping off to the next thing. So we might have to skip the playing your video this week, but doing it next week we can. I don't normally have to jump across the city the same way. But I appreciate all of you here with us today. It's nice to have you here. We're gonna be back most Fridays that we can. 12 to 2 for our perspectives. Obviously, if life stuff pops up. So next week, as an example. Wait, did I not do it? Did I not send it? Oh, he sent me a song. I'm going to start with his song this week. Boom. We got the song ready. We have you back. I'm going to share the screen with the share sound so that it remembers. Load that up, and
How did our song thing go last week? I never followed up with you about that.
I think it went well. I thought it was cool.
No, I'm saying it didn't. We didn't get flagged or anything.
We got copyright found, but you can play it around the world. So I think if we avoid like super famous shit, we're all right.
Okay. Yeah,
like I mean, like
yeah,
Warner.
I think I gave you something that's not.
like Warner, you know what I mean? Like
super
big,
famous shit is so subjective. It's like,
well, I mean, like
whose
modern
interpretation are we going
popping.
by?
You know,
Yeah,
like,
modern
you know,
popping. Yes, yes.
So yeah, I'll play this first one, and boom.
But let us leave these two young men to sit and reflect on the fate of the world. For life
Wait,
as we
wait.
know it, my brother, must go on.
Wait. Find the video of it. There, the official video is right there at the top of the suggested.
Fair. I'm just writing the timestamp. Click on that. Boom.
And so the hustlers continue to hustle, and the players continue to play.
Yeah, this is very different than what I have in mind. Yo, what's up, Gregory?
What up, shows? Hey, that is Dawn Robinson. That's Dame Dash. That's
What's up? Christian, baby, check it out. Come on over here, baby. Slow down, baby, you're tripping. Come on, I can dig. For a minute, you know what I'm saying? We out of here. Nah,
That was Dawn Robinson from En Vogue. I figured actually you probably don't know who that is either.
I've heard of En Vogue, yeah.
Okay, you've heard of En Vogue.
Well, I mean, like I recognized all those names.
She's like the star of En Vogue. She was the Beyonce of En Vogue. She later on went on to be in Lucy Pearl, the group with Raphael Sadiq. I wanna dance tonight. I wanna move tonight. That was who was in the crowd. There was a couple other people. I forgot. These dudes were an R&B group signed to, as you see, Rockefeller Records. This came out through Rockefeller Records in 1997.
That's lit. Yo, this one that I'm gonna play, that was smooth. I mean, it was nice. I don't think I would have liked that when I was younger, but I really appreciate that now. But when I was younger, I was on some completely different vibes, and if we're trying to show off who we are, this next track is one of the ones that when I was in high school, it was done. Some Canadian boys.
Uh-oh.
This sound was like my fucking shit in high school.
Why are they like? It's like two M&Ms. It's like literal M&Ms.
That's why Melly Mel didn't know what he was talking about. This is like 03, 04 or something.
Wow. It's crazy how this took off out there. Because literally, like, they even sound like Eminem. You know?
They were like on the early end of that. So like sometimes when people be doing shit today, it's like, hold on, I listened to this in high school. This shit's not even on digital streaming platforms.
What year did they come out?
Hold on, I'll check. No, I meant like as many clones of Eminem hadn't quite dominated as quickly yet.
Right.
These guys, it was 03 when this album came out. They were formerly in a band called Project Wise, or 04 this came out, sorry. And they were formerly in a band where it was more nu metal directly and less trying to be hip hop. It's like arts become a shark in deep water. You swim up to the mainstream and you bite the author. You could be a star too if fame and riches. The opinions of these haters and critics, they can be so cynic, quick to call you a gimmick. You can't tarnish my image. You write about it, I live it. The harder they come, the harder they fall. The quicker they come, the quicker they call. Yeah, this shit was all over Much Music, which is our MTV.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
And yeah, this shit's just like straight nostalgia for me. Like I literally copped that disc off this record alone and spent like the $15 on that shit or whatever.
Wow.
I don't think I still have it, but I hope I do.
I can see the appeal. I can see the appeal to young white kids.
Yeah. It was targeting that like skater crowd that likes hip hop. And this is like
but also grew up listening to rock.
And then like Linkin Park is on top right now too.
Right. Linkin Park is on top right now, and we're coming out of all the Korn and what was the other ones called? Korn and
Limp Bizkit and all them. Not just
Limp Bizkit and Korn. and Papa Roach.
Papa Roach is good shit though.
You're coming out of that into Linkin Park, and this
Papa
type of
Roach
shit
and Linkin
definitely-
Park are at the same time.
Okay, so then I guess it went from
Like Korn is
and
like the
Limp
beginning
Bizkit-
of that shit.
Korn
And
and
like,
Limp Bizkit to
yeah.
Papa Roach and Linkin Park.
There's like a few other ones in the middle, but yeah, Korn and
No,
Limp
there
Bizkit.
are wild. There's a whole bunch. But
Yeah, it was a huge genre. That was like, cause Linkin Park and
What was
shit.
the name of that group?
Oh, Dead Celebrity Status. They had like another record that came out a little bit later, and then I guess it dissolved. I do believe if they had been in LA, they would have had a real shot. But being in Canada, it's a different game entirely when you're like trying to like push it. And yeah, I know that at least one of those two dudes is still active in music. I'm not sure what happened to the other one, but it's like evolved past this sound at this point. But I fucks with that project. It was a cool album. Like if you're into the more nu metal-y alternative hip hop stuff. And yeah, that's We Fall. But with that, I think that's good for today. At least for me, I got to be on the other side of the city in an hour and a half. So
2 hours. We did the show.
I think it was another good episode. I really fucks with this. Thank you all for who came through to watch it live. If you want to pull through on the lives, you can. Twitch.tv/BehindThatSuit, or the Littyyy Bros one will let you know in the future. Follow us at Perspectives Pod on Instagram so that you can stay up to date with us. And if you like what we're doing and want to show some love with some financials, it's patreon.com/perspectives. All that will be linked below. And yeah, appreciate everybody.
If you want to give me a tip for my hard work, you can feel free to go to the Littyyy Bros Instagram page, and the link in bio has a tip jar in there. Make sure
Let's
you
go.
drop some ducats.
And if you have Amazon Prime and you want to give away money to us for free, you can go and subscribe without any charge on Twitch. And Lindell, next week we'll do our best to play your song. And I appreciate everyone who came through.
Yeah.
And live long
Lindell,
and
thank you
prosper.
for showing up. I did not know that you were in chat. I was on the Facebook chat instead of Twitch chat. We will play your song next week.
Yeah. Boom.
Lindell's going to send some